सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। शांति शांति शांति।
India has an enviable track record in achieving excellence in almost every field of endeavor, be it surgery, science, mathematics, music, because right from childhood, children were fed on a diet of bedtime stories told by their grandparents of great men and women who have achieved excellence, who had struggled against all odds to emerge victorious. Today, that is not there. Partly because grandparents are no longer around, you want nuclear families. And also because the emphasis is on other things. Your focus is on giving money to the children. Your focus is on giving a good education, a good school, a good university, so that they may earn a better living. But where is this inspiration? The inspiration is totally lacking. Mothers today focus on whether the children have enough calcium, enough vitamins, enough protein, everything except inspiration. And they are brought up 24/7 by illiterate maids. How do you expect them to have inspiration? So therefore, today we are talking about how to bring back, rejuvenate ourselves with this inspired life. What is this inspired life? Inspired life is one in which you achieve not just excellence, but you enjoy the world thoroughly. And this is one of the most important concepts of Vedanta. Even in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna tells Arjuna, go ahead and enjoy this vast kingdom. When he tells Arjuna, he's telling all of us, enjoy the world, but we have lost the capacity to enjoy. And most importantly, transcend the world, because the world doesn't have the stuff to hold your attention, doesn't have it in it to capture and captivate the human mind. And so therefore, we must shift our attention from just feeding the body. Today, we are only feeding the body. We're dry of emotions. Intellectual conviction is missing, and the soul is badly starved. So today, on the occasion, in reverence to our gurus who have laid down a foundation of impeccable values and principles for us to follow, we pay homage to them and to the scores of people thereafter who have put in great sacrifice to keep this knowledge alive for you and me and for future generations. So we pay homage to them, and the only way that we can pay homage to them is by living these principles, learning about them, cultivating an atmosphere of inspiration within each one of us, and spreading this inspiration across to different people. In society, if there be one person who has this inspiration of a higher ideal, what a wonderful effect that person has on people. I remember our Prime Minister, Lal Bahadur Shastri, at a time when there was food shortage in this country, that diminutive, humble person came up with the slogan, and we were all young then, that everyone give up one meal a day. Monday evening, I remember that. You remember? And that man came up with this, and the whole of India followed it. We were so proud to give up one meal a week. Where is that idealism gone now? And when he was railway minister, there was one train accident. And he resigned as railway minister. Today the company is going under and no reaction. So that's what we're talking about. So what is this? What bedrock of values and principles that we're talking about? We call it the YTD formula. Now you might wonder, what is this YTD formula? Why are you coming up with new terminology? Because you are the people who say, oh, the same boring stuff, don't you know anything new? The fact is, there is nothing new. The principles are the same. The only thing that we can do is package it in better packaging, or not better, different packaging. And so we call it YTD formula. But most importantly, we change the terminology because we have hopelessly misunderstood the original concepts of Yajna, Tapa and Dana. Sacrifice, austerity, charity. Badly misunderstood. What do we understand as Yajna? Commonly referred to as Havan. You perform a Havan when, like now, there is no rain. You perform a Havan when you want something, when you want progeny. You know, in New York the other day, an elderly man came to me and said, I want to discuss something private with you. So I was wondering what it was. He comes to me and says, can you tell me of a yajna that I can perform to get a good wife for my son? Preferably spiritual. I don't know why it is. People seem to think I have an endless supply of spiritual girls for their sons. And I said, it cannot happen. The only way it can happen is if your son is spiritual, he'll attract a spiritual girl. If your son is horribly materialistic, how on earth will a spiritual girl be attracted to him? So therefore, you must understand that the law of karma functions just, you can't hoodwink God. You know, we're so used to giving bribes, we think we can bribe God also. So you say, one little ritual I'll do, Havan, and preferably tell the Panditji, speed it up, man. Do it fast. So that I may get more money. You know, religion has boiled down to beggary. It's not beggary. Tapas is understood as senseless self-torture and mortification. Why should anybody stand on one leg when you have 2 feet to stand on? Without any rhyme or reason. Self-denial. And that doesn't attract anybody, especially the youth. And dana is considered as flinging a few coins at a beggar or in the hundi at a temple. It is true that in the past people used to give coins, but you have conveniently forgotten that they used to be gold coins. So now when you have a puja, first thing you do is go around collecting 1 rupee coins. Why? To give as charity. Charity means much more than that. You know, the other day somebody came and asked me, but you're talking about charity, dana, how much to give? And I asked her, would you ask that question about your own daughter? Would you ask, how much should I give to my own daughter or my son? No. Why? Because your heart and soul, every fiber of your being just wants to give to your children. That is charity. Charity is not with a checkbook. Charity is not with your hands. Charity is something that comes from your heart. If you don't have the heart to give. Don't fling coins. Don't insult people. Even here in the donation box you have torn notes, coins. If you don't want to give, don't give. Charity is voluntary. But don't insult people. All that, in fact, you're not insulting people, you're only insulting yourself. So therefore, what is this YTD formula? Yajna is when you stop asking. You stop asking because you are acutely aware of the fact that you have received enough and more. You're suffocated with all the millions of gifts that you've received, and you are grateful for it. And so you have this irresistible desire to contribute, to serve, to give. And anyone who has this, anyone who is inspired with a higher ideal, by God receives it in the end. Mahatma Gandhi, when he decided to work for independence of the country, he had no idea what it would get him. He had no idea that 60 years down the line, when he died, his assets were evaluated at 30 US cents. And last year, his glasses were auctioned for, I think, $9 million, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah? What a tremendous value addition. I'm not just talking about money. That man rocked the world. That capacity is there in each one of us. What are you doing wasting your time thinking about one better car, one better home, somehow or the other, by hook or by crook, preferably by crook? Get a few more crores. What are you doing with your life? Please think. These are the occasions when we have to think. As Shakespeare said, you're not wood, you're not stone, you're men and women. And being human, if you have tears to shed, shed them now. For this wonderful culture, this great nation is going down the drain. Is going down the drain not because of someone else, because of you and me. Every one of us must accept responsibility and accountability and then say, yes, I can do it. Like Obama's concept, that is what we need in this country very badly. Yes, I can. If you see corruption, don't be party to it. Yes, say, yes, I can fight it. If you see low values, don't just be a bystander. Say, yes, I can change it. And that is what Yajna is about. And it has wonderful results for the person who sacrifices. Tapas is organizing your life, organizing your activities, redirecting your energies towards the goal that you've set for yourself. There are many of us who have a higher goal, but what are you doing about it? Sweet nothing, just dreaming about it. That's not good enough. You have to organize your activities, channelize your energies towards achieving that goal, and this is called tapas. And charity is dividend payout. You only understand corporate terminology, therefore I'm saying dividend payout. You run the company, but you don't own the company. There are shareholders, hundreds and thousands of shareholders who own the company that you run. And therefore, when you pay dividend, you don't pay dividend with the idea that you're doing great charity to them. You do it because you jolly well owe it to them. Correct? That is the spirit in which you must do charity. Because you understand that there are 100,000 millions of elements that have gone to make you successful. And if you don't pay back to all the elements who have contributed to your success, you will lose it. So, charity, therefore, has a huge portion in the Indian culture. In the Rig Veda, there's a large section on charity. And yet, we are the people who don't do charity at all. Zero. And if at all we do, it is fake charity. It is distorted charity. It's not the real. So what we mean by this is, these three concepts of Yajna, Tapa and Dana are categorized as Sattvic, the real thing, Rajasic, the fake concept, and Tamasic, distorted version of it. So we'll see shortly what it is. We move on to Sattvic Yajna.